Obviously, coming out to and getting a good start is something that's important to us. And they came out and did some stuff that they did against us last year, and I think I got to give the coaches a lot of credit for coming up with a really good game plan against if we were going to get some of those looks. And the play calling was great. We were able to exploit some of the stuff they were doing, and they got out of those original looks they were giving us. So that was huge for getting a start. And then after that, I felt like last year when we would get big starts, we would kind of just go 3 and out. And this year, although we didn't get a lot of scores after that, after like the first half, we were able to get some first downs and kind of hold on to the ball a little bit longer. So that was also something that I was pretty happy about.
Was there anything within the offense that was a key factor in the success? I mean, was there any unit part of the offense that was working that permitted you to do these things?
I mean, you always got to give a ton of credit to the O-line. I mean, at first they were bringing a ton of pressure. I mean, all game they were bringing a ton of pressure, and there's time back there to throw the football, and obviously if there's no time to throw, and then you're not gonna be able to get anything done. And then when we started running the ball a little bit more there, I mean, there was some huge holes. I'm sure Kai can attest to that. And it was the O-line did a great job today. They played awesome.
I think people already realize that you're an improved team from the first 2 games, but if this doesn't convince people that you're a vastly improved team from last year, I don't know what will. What's your thoughts on this?
I think we've been playing well the last 3 weeks, and we don't really think about that though. We just we've said it in a ton of interviews, and we say it amongst the team. We got to focus on ourselves every single day, and we got to continue to get better. Every other team is going to continue to get better this season, and I mean, every game in the Valley. We're starting the Valley schedule now here, and it's going to be ranked team after ranked team, and every team is great. So we're going to need to bring our A game every single game and every single day in practice if we want to continue to have a chance to win games.
Derek, kind of going off what Chris was saying, what's been the biggest area of improvement? Like, what's key this start?
I believe on defense, it's our trust and chemistry with each other. I mean, we come out and we execute we have a big saying is everyone do their 111th, and every time we're doing our 111th, and it's just coming together so nicely. Everything and I mean, when the offense holds the ball for time possession is 37-22, I mean, that's huge. We get rest. We get rest on defense. We come in fresh, and they only went 1 of 12 for third down conversions. We get off the field 3 plays. I mean, that's huge with what we're doing.
Andrew, you took care of or faced a real strong running team and 2 real strong running backs today. What were the factors involved in keeping those guys quiet?
I think the big thing is that we had a great game plan to them. We knew what they wanted to do, and we knew that they wanted to run the ball, and obviously that's what we wanted to change this year. We wanted to be better against the run. And the big thing against those 2 backs, is everyone staying in their gaps and then tackling. That's the big thing is 22 is a slippery guy. He's probably one of the harder backs to tackle that we'll play all year. And it's really just come down to people being disciplined and then tackling, just finishing tackles.
What else goes into the defense?
I'm sorry?
What else has gone into the defensive improvements?
One thing I think is I was just watching the film from when we played them last year, and it was kind of just like, wow, we are so much better. Like, everyone's so much better. People just doing their job, like people just keeping contained on the ball, doing their job, their assignment. And then also, like kind of like Darren said, our communication. Last year at times people would freak out, and now people are talking. We got guys talking to each other out there. So that's a big thing is communication with our defense.
Darren, as good as the offense was, and it has been and was, I mean, your defense was equally as good today, and that's something you really got to hang your hat on. I mean, the way you guys played today was outstanding.
Yeah, obviously we don't
like that down what you did.
Yeah, obviously our game plan, like Andrew said, was outstanding. So we got to give credit to the coaches. I mean, they put us in the right spots every time, every play, and we don't want to rely on our offense to put up points. We want to be able to stop them. So then, if our offense is having a down game, I mean, obviously we're going to hold them to. We're going to try to keep that goose egg as long as possible. And I mean, it is just relentless effort every play that is making the plays. Like somebody is isn't in their gap, I mean, the next guy is going to make up for it. So, I mean, if you do mess up, the next guy, your brother to the left is going to have your back on making the play. And that's one of the big things that I think is so incredible about this defense. I mean, we're a close-knit group. I mean, everybody loves each other, has a great time during practice, and that just makes it so much better.
Kai, what has it been like being part of an offense now since you've gone over 500 yards 3 games in a row?
And it starts with the O-lineman and Chris Trevor. I mean, he coaches me up a lot. I mean, besides my coaches, he coaches me up, put me in good places, you know, and get it done.
Chris, heading into conference play, I just think there's a ton of momentum right now.
Absolutely. You know, I mean, obviously we want to be able to carry this momentum into the next game. Western, you know, it's going to be a tough team. I think they're ranked also, and that's not really something that, I don't know, I don't pay a ton of attention to that, but I know that's going to be a good team. And, you know, we've also got to look at this bye week and get better this week, though. I mean, we got some guys banged up. We got to get them healthy, and, I mean, we can't just gloss over this bye week because all the teams are going to be getting better this week, too, so we need to continue to keep getting better.
Chris, does a bye week like this, when you guys have been playing so well, would you rather be playing another week, or, I mean, there's nothing you can do about it, obviously.
I mean, I kind of think so, yeah. You know, you know, you always want to be playing games, but like I said, we've got some guys banged up, and you know, it always seems like a bye week comes at a good time with that type of stuff. So hopefully we can get some crucial guys back that have been banged up a little bit, and get everyone ready to go for the conference schedule.
Andrew, just looking at the non-conference season, and you go into the season and you want a little bit of momentum going into the conference part of it, but 3-0, I couldn't imagine. I guess you couldn't have imagined any better than that.
I thought it from the start. I thought we had a really good opportunity to go into conference 3-0, and we're playing great. We're hot. We just got to keep it rolling. And these guys know just as well as I do. It's no time to like let off the gas, especially with the conference coming up. Like Chris said, great team every week, so we just got to stay on it and keep getting better, because I don't even think we played that great on defense. There's so many things that we could do better and execute better. So that just goes to show, I think.
I'll just start by saying, you know, I want to congratulate our staff and our team. Obviously, our staff put together really good plans on both sides of the football today, and our guys went out there and executed it, playing with a lot of confidence, a lot of enthusiasm. It was great to be home. It's not often as a coach you actually feel crowd energy, but I'll tell you what, when I walked down the field today, I could feel it with our guys, and so it was great to have that kind of tremendous fan support, and obviously they saw a good team today. You know, we played like a good football team.
Bob, what were some key factors about getting control so early and then maintaining it?
Well, I think our offensive line played well. You know, you lose arguably your best offensive lineman on whatever that was, a second or third play from scrimmage, and we played the whole game with a true freshman at center and a red shirt freshman who started the game at center at left tackle. But those guys, I told them after the game, I thought, you know, for that group, they had a dominant performance today. When you rush the ball against one of the best rushing defenses in the country for, you know, almost 300 yards, that starts up front. Obviously, our backs, the stable of backs that we use, they ran really hard. That showed up in the fourth quarter when they were running through tackles as we got North Dakota's defense a little bit fatigued. And then, you know, we've got a playmaker at quarterback that is, you know, in critical situations and third downs and those kinds of things, is finding a way to keep drives alive for us. And then I think the other thing is, you know, a year ago defensively, we would have struggled against that football team from a standpoint of containing the rush and making them one-dimensional. And today we were really good against the rush, and we forced them to have to move the football through the air and do that when and not necessarily do that when they wanted to do that.
That was about as dominating a defensive performance as you could have really had against these guys, don't you think? I mean, that was pretty.
Yeah, you know, our front four, I thought we and linebacker crew played really well in the front. You know, we're going to look at the film and we're going to say, hey, there's a lot of things we could have done better, I'm sure, but our guys are playing really hard right now, and when you play really hard on defense and do the little things well, like we didn't turn the ball over again today. We did a good job generating some field position. Our defense played really well on key downs, a couple of fourth down stops, which are huge momentum plays in football. That's how you win. And so, again, credit to our guys. They're responding. And now, as they said, we got 2 weeks to be better when we go down to Western Illinois.
Are there parts of the game that, or parts of your team now that each week incrementally, maybe you're gaining more confidence in them?
Well, I think, we certainly gained some confidence today in our ability to run the football and close it out. We showed that a little bit about Bowling Green. I don't know how long that we had the ball for a 9-minute drive in the fourth quarter to close that game out. I'm not sure we threw a pass. And then, defensively, I told our guys in the locker room at halftime, we went into the locker room a year ago against that team with a fairly big lead, and my only word to the team at halftime was, this isn't last year. This is a different team. And we showed that both defensively in our ability to stop them and offensively in our ability to keep moving the football and score it, even though they were, pressuring us and trying to do some of the same things that they did a year ago.
Any other questions for Coach?
Just as the bye week, ideally, is this how you'd like it to be? Is this an ideal place for we're taking a week off?
I don't know. I'd rather have bye weeks early in the year than late in the year. I think unless you got a bunch of injury situations, we got 3 or 4 guys hurt right now that I think there's a chance that we could get back in 2 weeks. So you'd like to start that conference stretch with all your bullets, and we're not going to get them all back. Obviously, we've got some guys that are out for the year, but there's a couple of guys that we could get back that will help us from a depth perspective. The big thing is from a coaching standpoint, you're not preparing for a game next week, but you still got to get better, and so we'll do some things that I think will allow our guys to physically get fresh. But at the same time, keep working so that the speed, because I think we're playing like a fast football team right now, and we got to keep that speed going.
Do you see real tangible improvement as far as Trevor's passing?
Oh yeah, I think again, Chris. The thing that Chris did today is he stood in the pocket under duress and made some throws that a year ago he probably would have pulled the ball down or as in this game last year, made a couple of bad decisions that ended up going back 6 points the other way. And he's become a more complete quarterback, and I think he showed that today. Is with his passing numbers and yet very timely runs and big plays on the ground. And the other thing is, and I say this every week, I know he's one of those personalities that makes everybody around him better. And Kai Henry mentioned that in his comments, and because he plays so hard and he's so competitive. So he's a really good leader for a football team right now.
What do you like about Kai Henry, speaking of him?
Well, he's a really talented running back. Comes from an outstanding high school program. He's a nice little blend of power. He's a much more physical back than what you might think from when you just look at him from a size-wise. He's a pretty football smart player. We had a couple of conversations today, and part of that is because I'm going to push him to be as good as he can be, and because he's got a chance to be a very talented football player and a guy that fans around here are going to have a lot of fun watching.
Are you feeling more comfortable with the depth there too? It looks like
Yeah, I think you look at those guys today. I thought Mike Frederick ran hard. You finally saw, in addition to Kai, I think, you finally saw what Ben Klett is capable of doing today. He ran the ball very physically there at the end of the game. And so, the depth that we have at that position group, I don't know how many yards they all ended up with, but, they all had significant yards. All had, about the same number of carries, and I guess Mike's the only one that didn't end up with a touchdown, but we'll continue to use all three of those guys.